What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how I got started coaching. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you are a football player and would like to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to 100+ speed and agility drills, all mapped out with the exact sets and reps for you guys to do and placed into categories so all the information is easy for you guys to find and easy to retain. So if you guys would like to improve your speed, explosiveness, 40-yard dash time, again, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so I wanted to make this video just to kind of give you my coaching background, how I got started with the coaching process, how I transitioned from a player to a coach at a very young age. And honestly, like, the whole motivation for this video was I saw some Reddit page made about our YouTube channel, and it was a guy that I know, a guy that I've talked with before, pretty much kind of questioning the credibility of everything. And it was these little, bots in this comment section chatting back and forth just about how, well, oh, it doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking about. People who have never played football before. So I wanted to make this video not for them, but for you guys, the people who support this page every single day, just so you know where I'm coming from and what my coaching background is. So first things first, I was just like all of you guys, high school athlete, didn't know if I was going to play, Division I college ball. I wanted to play Division I college ball. I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I don't weigh a lot. I definitely was not the fastest. I was a pretty good athlete. I was like a 4.6 40 guy. So the recruiting process for me was a little bit interesting coming out of high school, right? Had some film, had a little bit of looks from Division I schools, like Ivy League schools, because I was a decent student. I wasn't the best student. I ultimately didn't get recruited to an Ivy League school, but I got recruited. I had kind of three options, right? I could have walked on. It would have been like a preferred walk-on spot at a Division I school, and I always knew I wanted to get into training, so I could have gone that route and walked on. Maybe have never seen playtime. Maybe I would have, whatever it is, walked on as a quarterback. I could have gone to a Division II school and, just the middle of nowhere, Illinois, and froze my ass off. Or number three, I could have gone to a smaller college, Division III college in Southern California that was completely paid for. It was pretty much a full ride. I think we were paying $100 a month or something like that. And that's pretty good for a college school that has a 50, 60K a year tuition. And it was a good business school because that's ultimately what I thought I wanted to do at first. I wanted to get into business, and then after the fact, I wanted to get into training. So that was my best offer. My whole goal was just so my parents didn't have to pay for my college. So I ended up going to that school. And this is kind of where the coaching process started for me. While I was in school, just like anybody, you're playing football, but you want to make some money because you want to have some disposable income, whether you have a girlfriend or whatever the case may be. And so I didn't want to work an actual job. I hated the idea of somebody telling me what to do. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just start training kids, right? So I started training little kids, 8, 9, 10 years old, pain in the ass because, they weren't focused. They didn't trust what I said, whatever. But it was, it was a good first starter job. I wasn't working for anybody. I didn't have to punch in a clock, whatever it was. So for anybody that has experience playing at a lower division school, especially the school that I played at, they don't even have a football program anymore. And it doesn't surprise me just because, there was kind of a lack of motivation I felt in the locker room. I felt like guys were just kind of there to play, to have fun, and that's never why I played the game of football. Yes, it was fun. Yes, I enjoyed it, but I always played to win, right? There's no point in playing the game if you're not playing to win. That's how I looked at it. I hate the whole, oh, well, as long as you're having fun. No, I'm trying to win. Winning is fun, right? And I felt like that wasn't there, and I felt like I was kind of missing something. So in my second year of college, I got asked to be the varsity receivers coach at the high school that I ultimately went to. Now, when I was in college, I got recruited to play there as a quarterback. And in college, I switched to playing receiver, which is a very easy transition. Going from quarterback to receiver is not the hardest thing in the world, especially if you're a dual threat quarterback like I was, because I had the athleticism, I had the knowledge of the offense, I had knowledges of defenses. So it made it very, very easy to be a slot wide receiver, sitting into zone, beating different coverages and things of that nature. So that's where I got the experience with the wide receiver position. And that's ultimately how I landed that job at the high school that I worked at. So I'm going to transition into that story in a second here, but that's kind of how I got my foot in the door with coaching to start off. Now, I never had a goal to be a high school position coach. That was never something that I wanted to do. I kind of looked at it from a business perspective because I was starting to get a little bit of steam with the training thing that I mentioned in the last clip. I started getting a little bit more clients. They were all younger kids, nobody in high school, nobody in college yet, of course, because I was just starting out. But, it was just local kids that I knew. I was charging very little money, and, it was fun. I actually enjoyed working with those guys and seeing them get better, going to their games, supporting them, and just seeing the progress that they would make. So I took took the high school coaching job with not like an aspiration or a dream of like, hey, I'm going to work my way up to be a head coach, then I'm going to go coach in college, then I'm going to try to go coach in the NFL. That was never my goal, because when I knew what I signed up for when I got into the high school coaching gig, not a lot of money. Like, you're there Monday through Sunday. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but if you coach at a big high school program, where I coached at, it was called Los Alamitos High School. For those of you that don't know that school, it's probably one of the biggest public schools in Southern California. Like, we have Mater Dei, Bosco. Those are the two like nationally ranked ones that just run through everybody every single year. But that's Los Al's probably one of the top high school public school programs, and public schools are not allowed to recruit like the high school program. I mean, everybody recruits. Anybody who knows Los Al knows that they recruit, but we weren't doing it back then. Let's put it that way. So it was all local kids. And my goal was to go in there and just honestly, just to get business, just to get clients. It's pretty much volunteer work. Like, you're there Monday through Sunday. You're working 8 to 10 hours every single day, and you're getting paid like below minimum wage. Like, there's no time clock. Like, the labor board has no clue how many hours you're working. So it's almost like slave labor, right? So, but you're getting paid, obviously, but it's not that much money. And you know that going in when you're an assistant. The goal is either to work your way up, but the way I looked at it was, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to try to get some clients from this. I'm going to try to get the youth kids to come train with me because I'm on the staff there, and whatever it is, maybe I got to stay coaching there during the season, or maybe I could pivot into something else. First down training had never even entered my mind, right? So I'm there. First year there, first couple months, absolutely hate it. I cannot tell you how much I hate working for somebody and having somebody tell me what to do. And that was our head coach. Head coach wasn't a bad guy. He was a good dude. I really enjoyed the staff, a lot of great guys where I coached, but I absolutely freaking hated it. People telling me what to do, how long I needed to work, how long I needed to do this. So I was like, man, screw this. That's when I kind of started First Down training, but it was called like Caraway Football Training, like terrible name. Like, so I changed it eventually to First Down Training, got all the trademarks, got the business set up, all that stuff. But I had no clients, no YouTube channel, no social media, no Instagram, no nothing. But I just kind of was like, okay, like, I have some knowledge about the quarterback position. I have some knowledge about the wide receiver position because I played both, played quarterback all my life, played receiver all my life. Like, why don't I just start putting information out there and, you know, trying to help out athletes, not just in my confined little space of Southern California. Why not try to reach, you know, people in New York, people in freaking Germany, people in Korea, wherever you're watching this from. That was always my goal, because what I saw was there were a ton of trainers, right? There's a ton of quarterback trainers, ton of receiver trainers, all out there posting videos. And this is when it was real popular to do the flashy drills. But from a player perspective, because I didn't play that long ago, I was still in college, right? I had stopped playing football and I ultimately ended up dropping out. But I was like, I was just a player, and I was like, man, none of these videos teach me anything. Like, they're flashy, they're entertaining, but none of these videos actually teach me information. I don't get any value from these videos. So I was like, okay, why don't I go about this and actually teach? I'll probably catch some flack for it too, because people are going to say, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. What do you know? You're just a kid, things of that nature. I could give a shit, honestly. Like, I don't care what anybody has to say about me. I care about the people who are watching the video and what they can get out of it. And I knew I was going to catch heat for it. I knew, like, you look at any video of ours that blows up and gets a lot of videos, usually our YouTube shorts, right? That get, like, you know, the ones that get 100,000 to 1,000,000 views. Like, those are some of our most popular videos. Look at the comments. Like, they're dragging me, saying, oh, what does this guy know? He's a white dude. Like, all this stuff. They're throwing all kinds of stuff. I could give a shit, honestly, but I knew people would say that because I didn't have the huge background or the huge NFL college credibility, because I took the route where my parents didn't have to pay for school. But what they don't see is they don't see all the information that I had to learn on my own, because I didn't have the trainers. I didn't have social media like a lot of you guys had. I had to learn it myself. I had to do it through trial and error. I had to fail a million times. I had to get it. I had to study the position. I had to study film on my own and learn all that knowledge. And I was actually a player and actually did it. Maybe I didn't do it as high of a level as some people, but I had to learn the information and teach myself. That's why I feel like I'm a better teacher than all these guys who have that type of NFL college background, right? So I knew I was going to catch some flack for that going in, making those types of videos, but I honestly just wanted to reach more people, and I didn't want to be confined into my area. And that's kind of how the First Down Training brand, I guess you could say, was born. And now I'm going to talk about how we transitioned into scaling our brand. All right, so now it's pretty much like, you know, end of the season when I was coaching high school ball, I was kind of, you know, starting to make content on social media, kind of not. I was a little afraid at first, you know, like I knew people were going to say stuff. I knew people were going to talk smack. I knew all that stuff, right? And so I was posting stuff, and I remember my very first video, it was a quarterback video talking about throwing on the run. And there was a 12-year-old kid who commented on the video, dragging me, saying I didn't know what I was talking about, saying I sucked, like all this stuff. I was like, man, like, this is my first video, like get ripped like this. And I honestly actually thought it was good though, because like if I got somebody hating on me, that's somebody who didn't know me beforehand. So I'm reaching more people. I was like, okay, great, maybe I'm on to something. So I started cranking out videos. Like after my first year coaching football, there was a little problem. Me and the athletic director got into it a little bit. So I ultimately technically got fired, which was a good thing. Like everybody says when they get fired, like, oh, I was going to quit. I was going to quit, but you know, ultimately I got fired, which is a funny story because I bet you they regret it. But anyways, it was, I got fired, had maybe about 20 clients. I had dropped out of school, so I was kind of sitting there like, man, like this might be it, you know, like I might have to go work at like McDonald's or something like that, like just to be able to pay bills. And because my parents were not cool with me dropping out, of course. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of go all in on this social media thing. I started posting on YouTube, Instagram. TikTok wasn't even a thing. It was mainly just YouTube and Instagram at the time. Posting 4-5 times a day. If you guys were following me since then, you guys know how frequently we upload. But my goal was just to upload at scale, always with the mindset of, okay, I'm not just going to post a video that's flashy that I want people to just view. I want people to get value out of it. I want them to save it. I want them to share the video. I want them to send it to their friends. And that's where I'm going to go at, to reach as many freaking people as possible that maybe don't have the training that people in Southern California like myself were exposed to. Because I was always looking for that type of information as a player. I'm on YouTube 24/7. Every single video that you guys have watched that was probably 10 years ago with all those freaking old head coaches, I watched every single one of those probably 20 times, just because there was no information out there. I was like, you know what, if I could actually teach and go this route, I think we got something here. So started posting, started gaining some traction, you know, maybe 20 clients turned into 50, 50 turned into 75. We obviously have the online training stuff that we do. You know, we started getting some YouTube ad revenue, maybe a couple brand sponsorships here and there. So it turned into a full-time gig, but it wasn't big money, I would say. You know, it wasn't like enough to live comfortably. It was enough to live on, but not enough to live comfortably. And then COVID hit, and a lot of people were afraid. A lot of people were scared. Our business like exploded during COVID. That was probably the best thing that happened to me from a business perspective, because all of our stuff was, guess what, online. And I know COVID hurt a lot of people, and it was not a good thing, obviously, but all of our stuff was online. We had YouTube, Instagram, TikTok was a thing at the time. And where did everybody go in there at COVID? They were at home on their phones. Everything skyrocketed because no other trainer was putting out videos like that. I don't know if you guys remember that long ago, maybe about however long it was ago, 4 years ago. Nobody was putting videos out like that. Now people try to dabble in it. I think all their videos suck, honestly, but nobody was doing it. They were posting the flashy stuff, and then my stuff was just constantly popping up in the feed, and that's when everything just kind of started to really take off for us. Our brand started to grow. Our clients like tripled. Then we started doing the camps after COVID kind of calmed down a little bit, and then we got to where we were at today, and we were still trying to have that formula of just creating videos that give you value. So a lot of people want to know my coaching background. A lot of people want to know what my credibility is. That's kind of the story, fellas. You know, didn't play super high level ball, coached at a very, very high level high school program. After that, I've gotten a lot of coaching offers to coach in college. I turn every single one of them down because this is what I like doing. I like making videos. I like training athletes. I like doing our camps, as I feel like that gives me a better relationship with you directly. And those are ultimately the people that I care the most about. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to get 100+ speed and agility drills, everything that you could do as an athlete to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you guys on that. I'll see you next time.